Hey guys, Ryan here from Good Dog Training again. Today we're going to go through what it takes to be a responsible dog owner and things to take into account before getting a dog. So the first thing I take into account is, do I have time for a new puppy or a new dog? When training a puppy, you're going to need to be around that dog for the first 6 to 8 weeks to make sure you have success with raising this new dog. If you're taking on a rescue that's a little bit older, I'm going to say around about an hour and a half to 2 hours for the first 4 to 8 weeks. So that first initial bit of getting that dog, you're going to need to be putting in a lot of effort to set boundaries, set rules, get control of the animal, and set yourself up from the get-go. From day to day with that dog, you're probably going to need to walk the dog about an hour to an hour and a half each day. You're also going to need to do some form of obedience training each week. It doesn't have to be every day, but maybe twice a week just to keep everything sharp. You're also going to be required to set boundaries in the house, so you're going to need to be disciplined with the animal. Dogs are a product of their environment, so if we have a non-structured home and we bring an animal into it, it's highly likely that that animal is going to kind of take up the behaviors around it and the problems around it. So making sure we're taking the right approach, setting up a correct management system for that dog and boundaries for that dog in that house is going to be crucial to your success. Training and control. So training and control is very important. In order for you to take that dog out and that dog to live a fulfilled life, we need to be able to control it. If we don't have control and we expect to walk the dog down the beach or let it off at a park or in a forest, and we don't have control, it's highly likely that dog's going to do something unwanted and possibly get itself into trouble and also frustrate the owner a lot. So making sure we do the appropriate training when we first get that dog is crucial to your success. Making sure we take into account what breed we're getting. Each breed's going to require more training. So a border collie, they generally pick things up quite fast. So to obedience train that animal isn't going to be too difficult. Versus getting a breed that can be potentially more stubborn and willful, like Rottweilers, Mastiffs, Pit Bulls. They can be sometimes not necessarily not as smart, but to get them to a point where they listen to you all the time can sometimes be a little bit more challenging. One of the biggest things I think that is lacking in society at the moment is probably just being mindful of others. So, you know, I run into clients all the time that are having trouble. They want to be able to walk their dog on the beach, or they want to be able to take their dog to these certain places, and they're saying, hey look, I'm putting my dog on lead and I'm keeping my dog under control, but other people aren't. Being mindful of others is massive. You know, if you don't have control of that animal, you can't stop that dog, you can't let that dog off lead, because you're potentially putting your dog at risk, other people's dogs at risk, and you potentially can stress people out, and it just isn't pleasant for anybody. And the last one is socializing. So making sure you correctly socialize that animal. To keep a dog at a social point or a social standard with other dogs, say, it's going to need constant exposure. So finding a way to give that dog constant exposure in a structured way is quite important when raising a dog or wanting a social dog. Other things you've got to take into account is socializing with other animals, humans, and environments. So we have to take that dog around those different stimuli regularly to keep them understanding what's expected of them around them and keep them comfortable in that environment. I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. A nice basic one for anybody starting out with their dog. It's a good starting point, and it gives you some key points to start to look deeper into and work on. That's Ryan here from Good Dog Training. Peace.